Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello and welcome to the third episode of Politically Correct with me, K Singh. We are here to discuss the current political stalemate in Maharashtra. The question is, are the voters only losers in Maharashtra today? Of course they are. Whichever way you look at it, now whichever alliance, pre-poll or post-poll, whichever alliance comes to power, the government will not have the moral authority to govern. The mandate was for a Shiv Sena BJP government. That does not seem to be happening. Even if it happens, given the sniping and the bad blood that you have between the Shiv Sena and the BJP today, well, the government cannot carry on like that. But anyway, we come to that later. So coming to the three scenarios that we have today, if you have the Congress, NCP and the Shiv Sena coming together, they may agree on a common minimum program, and maybe the CMP will try to address the ideological conflicts that this possible coalition may have on the issue of migrants. Don't forget that the Shiv Sena, since its inception or when it started, the main target was the migrants from South India. Now, Bal Thackeray's stand was that they were taking away the jobs of Maharashtrians, and from there the Shiv Sena started. Though it is trying to moderate its stand on this issue now, it's not talking about only Marathis, it is trying to expand its reach outside Maharashtra, and that's why probably they are toning down their Marathi Manu political ideology or philosophy. Yet, there are concerns in the Congress and NCP on this issue, like what Shiv Sena will do. Again, the aggressive Hindutva pitch of Shiv Senics. Now, I understand that the CMP will be addressing these issues, concerns about the Sena's stand on issues concerning the minorities, on migrants and other ticklish issues. So even if they come to an understanding, what kind of government is Maharashtra going to have? A government where each coalition partner will be pulling in different direction. Look at this. Even if they come to an understanding, what are the scenarios you have? You may have a chief minister from the Shiv Sena for 2.5 years, then a chief minister from the NCP for 2.5 years. Now the major fight, I suppose they are trying to sort it out, but right now the big question will be, who will get the chief minister's post first, the NCP or the Shiv Sena? Mind you, nobody is going to trust each other here. We have seen what happened in UP when Maha-battle gave the same undertaking, okay, after every 6 months you will be changing the chief minister with the alliance partner, and what happened finally? See, just backed off after completing her tenure. So nobody is going to, NCP, Shiv Sena, the divergent political forces that are coming together, you don't really see them trusting each other. So it's going to be a big irritant. Let's see how they sort it out. But other than that, what does the Congress get? Possibly a deputy chief minister's post and some plum portfolios. Now, the allocation of portfolios is going to be a big irritant because they are all looking at plum portfolios. Urban development to start with, home, finance. Which party will get what portfolios? How will these things be sorted out? And even if they sort it out now, in coming weeks and months, the sniping will continue. It's not going to end. So even if they manage to agree on a CMP and the modalities of the government, what do you think will be the focus? They will be sniping at one another. They will be trying to pull each other down, politically outmaneuver each other and one another. It will keep happening. So focus is not going to be governance. Suppose this does not work out, and there comes a scenario where the Shiv Sena and the BJP are talking again. It's possible. Though I'm not sure, having come this far, would the Shiv Sena give up its claim on chief ministership? I suppose no, but you never know. You cannot rule out anything in politics. Because the BJP is not going to give up chief ministership. So Shiv Sena will have to yield, if at all. That's not a very likely scenario, but don't rule it out. But even then, suppose the Shiv Sena and the BJP come together. Again, what will be the focus? You have spoken about the bad blood between the two parties. We have seen how the Shiv Sena for the last 5.5 years have been targeting the NDA government at the center and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now it's worse. The relationship between the two parties has worsened. It's not going to be easy if at all these two come together. Again, focus not on governance. You have a third scenario. The president's rule continues. It's there for 6 months. And then you have to hold your elections and have an elected government. But if the president's rule continues, given that these parties don't come together, the possibility of these parties don't coming together, president's rule continues. Now, what will be the focus? Even if, as we know, under president's rule, it's the BJP which is ruling the center, will be driving the governance agenda in Maharashtra. But that will not be the focus. Okay, first, you don't have any time. Second, priority is next election. So, in all these three scenarios, voters, basically the mandate the voters have given to different parties is not going to be respected, as I said, by whichever coalition or by whichever alliance comes to power. Now, but are voters the only losers? In the first scenario, if you have the NCP, the Congress and the Shiv Sena coming together, what do these parties achieve individually, except power in Maharashtra for however long it continues, that we don't know. And we know for sure it's not going to continue for five years. But for whatever period it continues, what do they gain individually? For the Congress, well, the first gain the Congress should think is, you have kept the BJP out of power in Maharashtra, a very important state. You have the financial capital there, and a cash-strapped party would love to be in power in Maharashtra for obvious reasons. So that may be the first incentive. And second would be that, look, this has happened in Maharashtra. You have denied power to the BJP. Now you have bypolls coming in Karnataka. If you have kept the BJP out, there may be some, or you expect some message going to Karnataka in the bypolls, and somehow if the BJP fails to manage, say, at least half a dozen seats in the bypolls, mind you, there are bypolls for 15 assembly seats there, and the BJP must get at least half a dozen of them to retain the majority in Karnataka Assembly. So the Congress may be hoping that it will have some impact on Karnataka bypolls because of this. That's the immediate political goal. Then you will expect something in Jharkhand. In Jharkhand elections, they would expect that, okay, this momentum that the opposition parties have got by coming together and denying power to the BJP may carry on in Jharkhand, where the Gupta Das government is perceived to be unpopular. But it's what the opposition parties claim right now. But these are all the gains the Congress can make. And then the Congress will be hoping to hoping some kind of regrouping of opposition parties against the BJP. We are seeing some fallout somewhere in Jharkhand, where you have even Lok Janshakti Party of Ramvilas Paswan saying that it will contest alone. You see the Jharkhand Students' Union saying it will contest alone. JDU is contesting alone. That may be a fallout of what has happened in Maharashtra. Suddenly, regional parties have grown teeth, maybe. If you ask me, they are completely wrong on this. They are kind of overestimating their political capital in Jharkhand. But anyway, we are not talking about that. We are talking about the Congress party expectations. So these are the immediate gains the Congress is looking at. But the loss of face the Congress will have in Maharashtra will have much deeper impact. And given the fact that the party does not even have a cohesive organizational unit, it has had some good leaders, say the last Chief Minister, Prithviraj Chavan, he has a very clean image. And you go and talk to people in Maharashtra, he is seen as a good administrator. Somebody who is clean, somebody who went after some cooperative societies also. But what happened to him? The High Command just sidelined him. The Congress did not even appoint him the leader of the opposition in Maharashtra Assembly after 2014 elections. You look around, you don't have any Congress leader with pan-Maharashtra appeal. What happens to the Congress then? Without any leadership in the state, without any ideology to talk about, without any achievement in terms of governance, if it remains a part of it becomes a part of the next coalition. So Congress is a loser for sure, at least in Maharashtra. We'll see what happens to Congress's hopes so far as Jharkhand or Karnataka are concerned, or the hope for an opposition unity or opposition resurgence vis-a-vis the BJP, that we'll see. Now come to the Shiv Sena. Of course, how will the Shiv Sena go and justify what it did after getting a mandate from the people? You cannot tell them we wanted a Shiv Sainik as the Chief Minister and so we disrespected your mandate. Shiv Sena is a loser straight away. The NCP may, however, hope to make some gains. We have seen how its resurgence happened in a way because it was totally down and out. Then the Enforcement Directorate goes and books Sharad Pawar in a money laundering case, and we see the reaction. Suddenly you have Sharad Pawar invoking Maratha pride, how a Maratha leader has been hurt, has been implicated in a false case. And he was all over Maharashtra. We saw him delivering election speeches in rains, totally drenched. And probably the NCP will carry this momentum forward. But again, as the NCP seeks to expand its footprint beyond Western Maharashtra, it's for the Congress to worry. Because the BJP and the Shiv Sena, they have ideological affinity, they have common vote base. Although I would say that the BJP has expanded its vote base beyond that Hindutva section. But when we talk about NCP's resurgence, it is going to happen at the cost of the Congress. But yes, NCP may be a gainer out of this exercise. Come to the other formation, the Shiv Sena, the possibility of Shiv Sena BJP coming together, which seems unlikely as it is, but let's see. The BJP in all this political fast that you are witnessing in Maharashtra today, the BJP is going to be the only gainer. If and when a Shiv Sena NCP Congress government falls and elections happen, BJP will go there as a victim. People gave a mandate for the BJP which was disrespected by its ally Shiv Sena, and how the opposition parties gang together to keep the BJP out of power. So that is if elections happen today or even later, after a year or two. That is if BJP is kept out of power. If the BJP and the Shiv Sena come together, even then BJP will get what it wants, the chief ministership. That will be at the cost of Shiv Sena, of course. But as we see, the BJP is the only gainer in this entire drama, whichever way things go. Now I'll take some of the questions sent by our viewers. Of course they are, and I'm sure voters must be very disillusioned and frustrated, angry. But it's not the first time it's happening. In Maharashtra itself, if you recall, way back in 1978 when Indira Gandhi had split the party and there were two Congresses. In the 78 assembly elections, post-assembly elections, these two factions of the Congress came together to deny power to Janata Party government, to the Janata Party. And then Basantdada Patil became the chief minister, and Sharad Pawar then became a minister in that government. Barely 4 months later, in July 1978, Sharad Pawar forms his own party, I think Indian National Congress Socialist, joins hands with the Janata Party and forms the government, calls it Progressive Democratic Front. Of course, in 1980, that government is dismissed and Congress comes back to power. But then we are just looking at what happened in the past. In recent times, well, it has happened everywhere. Look at Karnataka. BJP emerged as a single-largest party, but then what happened? The JDS and the Congress, again political adversaries, at least in southern Karnataka. They joined hands, formed the government. Of course, the government fell after a while, which was expected, but that's what happened in Karnataka. We saw in Goa, I mean, in the last Goa elections, the mandate was against the BJP government, but BJP managed to form the government with support from other regional parties. Look at Arunachal Pradesh, for instance. It's a very interesting example to talk about. In 2016, now Pema Khandu, who is the chief minister now, he became the chief minister of a Congress-led government. A few months later, about 43 Congress MLAs defect to People's Party of Arunachal and NDLI, and then form the government. And again, 33 of these 43 MLAs switch sides, they join the BJP and form a BJP government. And talking about voters' reaction, I mean, we had Arunachal Assembly elections simultaneously with the Lok Sabha, and the BJP came back comfortably with a clear majority under Pema Khandu. So we have had such situations in the past. It's not that it's happening for the first time. Voters would be dejected, but that's how our politics is. How the voters will react whenever the next elections happen, we don't know. They can, but for how long is the question? Of course, as the question suggests, let's not get into the ideological contradictions in the possible alternative formation in Maharashtra. But Shiv Sena's primary aim was not to keep BJP out of power. It was to basically force the BJP to play second fiddle. Because mind you, both have the same Hindutva vote bank. And the BJP, since 2013, has been kind of a juggernaut. I mean, everywhere it has been trampling regional parties, national parties. Same in Maharashtra. In 2014 assembly elections, when Shiv Sena decided to go alone, BJP managed to get 122 seats on its own, though Shiv Sena also managed to get 63. But there is this insecurity complex in the Shiv Sena, because if you let the BJP expand the way it is, Shiv Sena will be finished sooner or later. So it has to check the BJP in its tracks. And for that, Shiv Sena has to be the leading partner. I mean, that's their strategy. And then Shiv Sena also has expansion plans. I mean, I am told Aditya Thackeray has been discussing the option of fielding candidates in civic polls in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Goa. So I don't expect the Shiv Sena to give up its Hindutva pitch, because that's what the Shiv Sena is trying to build on to, to make forays into other states, at least in the Hindi heartland. Of late, you have not heard Shiv Sena talking about Marathi Manus, the nativist ideology that it started with in the 1960s. It's trying to change its image to be more acceptable in other states. And as I said, given their plans in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and other Hindi-speaking states right now, Hindutva is what is going to be the driving force. I don't see them giving it up at this stage. First of all, the UPA does not exist. We had a UPA government or that alliance from 2004 to 2014. Once that government was out of power, the UPA does not exist technically, though we keep using it loosely. Second, you're talking about DMK. I assume you're asking this question because of this anti-South Indian ideology that Bal Thackeray founded the Shiv Sena on. But that was way back in 1960s. Things have changed drastically. And even though Shiv Sena talks about Marathi Manoj, it's not anti-South Indians. And as I said, because they are planning to expand, they won't be taking up those, as I said, the nativist political philosophy they had. They have changed it now. So as it is, DMK should not have any problems. Left does not have any stake in Maharashtra and even otherwise. So even if the Congress and the DMK contested the elections, Lok Sabha elections together in 2019, I don't really see the DMK asserting itself this way, especially when the Shiv Sena is not what it was in 1960s. And left, of course, yeah, we know the Congress leadership, especially Rahul Gandhi's leftist leanings, his friendship with the left leaders. But as it is, left is in no position to dictate the Congress's political agenda. Well, I'm sure there will be some amount of backlash whenever the next elections happen, because saying that you want a Shiv Sainik as the chief minister and then doing what it has been doing, I don't think it will gel with the people. Shiv Sainik as the chief minister may matter to Shiv Sainiks, but for the rest of the people in Maharashtra, why should it bother them? And whether it's a Shiv Sainik as the chief minister or an RSS pracharak or some Nehru Gandhi family loyalist, it doesn't matter to them. They want governance. It never is. In a democracy, you have to have an elected government. So president's rule can never be the best possible alternative. And don't forget, at the end of it, the party which rules the government at the center does everything through the governor under the president's rule. So there will always be allegations of the Raj Bhavan doing things politically. So it's not going to be a settled issue anyway. And anyway, it's going to last just for 6 months. So it can never be the best possible alternative. But as it is in Maharashtra, though many people may quibble over the way the Raj Bhavan recommended president's rule without basically exploring the possibility of the formation of government, alternative government, simply because at the convention is you first invite the single largest party or the largest pre-poll alliance. Then you go for the second largest pre-poll alliance. It didn't happen this way. After the governor invited the BJP, invited the Shiv Sena. So you have constitutional experts having differing views over this. But at the end of the day, it's totally at the discretion of the governor to decide whether any party or any group is in a position to provide a stable government. Anyway, the Shiv Sena has gone to the Supreme Court. We'll see what the court says on this. But coming back to the question, is president's rule the best possible solution? No. You have to have an elected government which is accountable to the people, and it's not the governor. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Please keep sending us feedback and your questions. Thank you.